russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros. All right, so Ivar beat Gable and Otis, but he lost to Tozawa. Okay. All right, go ahead, break down this promo. I want to hear what you guys have to say about Cody and Punk.
Yeah, the Cody and Punk stuff, I knew it would take a little bit of baby facing in the back and forth, but what's interesting, and this is, you're only probably going to get this here, Russo brand, Hamin Media Group channel attitude, but the time that they're talking about in the ring, 2007 OVW, is my prime time there. I went 2005, 2006, started going to live and train there. So I've seen this, and I remember the week he's talking about where Dusty called him to be Big Brother, because Dusty came through that week, and it was big for all of us. And what's being said here isn't just wrestling tropes. These are two guys who've lived it. One who knows that a nepotism hire got him his career. And I watched Cody Rhodes have to stay humble as a very young man who could have made a lot of stupid decisions that a 22-year-old would have made. And he was far more mature than I was at 28 in handling them, And it wasn't because he was on the phone every day with his dad. And when he left OVW to go to FCW, he said Al Snow, and people say my dad, my brother trained me. I tell him Al Snow, Robert Gibson, and Danny Davis trained me. And I thought that was very big of him, because that's the real truth, because his dad wanted him to not have that hanging over his head and put him in the hands of those guys that he knows. And since that time, that high watermark of OVW, 2004 to 2010, when FCW opened, because Johnny Ace and Kern and all them snaked the fucking thing out and made the Wrestling Factory to start printing out Randy Orton clones that would never get over. Like, then that's really what we've seen from FCW to NXT. The last days of wrestling and cutthroat politics and the highest purity of learning the craft via Rip Rogers and Al Snow was those final days of OVW. And it was the cutthroat politics. He even mentions the road some of our contemporaries went down. A guy who was good to me, but a lot of people might have some salt in their mouth, but made Roman Reigns, made fucking Seth Rollins, and made Moxley was Joey Mercury, part of that exact crew. And I think that's who he might be referencing, who's dealt with addiction issues and can deal with politics at the highest level, or a slew of other guys in that locker room who should have been top dudes who were getting fucked up at 4th Street Live or on gimmicks. You know what I mean? So they're saying a lot of truths there that just the normal fan and the crowd wouldn't, but it was hitting me right in the head real strong with what they're saying. And I loved how they flipped it on each other, where Cody pretty much said, you talk all that shit, and it's what got you over. But when it comes to walking it, I'm the one who does it. And I'm more CM Punk than you are. That is fucking true. Now, not to say Punk didn't go out and train for UFC and try and do his own thing. I thought he might retort with that, but people would have shit on him. But the way Cody is, and he has to leave and go be the anti-hero and be Punk and go against the fucking whole structure of WWE, that is a more Punk move, like rock and roll Punk, not CM Punk, right? And the way that he came back living off his superstardom is, even though he's a blue collar guy, that's more than the nepotism story. I loved how smart that switch was. I thought these guys are telling the truths about themselves that, even if the fans don't understand it, really has a 16-year based history. Then Del Close would say, if you get stuck in a scene, tell the audience the truth about yourself. They're not going to know if it's real or not, but you will. And when you deliver it, you will ground yourself in conviction. That is exactly what I saw in this brilliant exchange. And the problem is we have something this high level, and then we go, now get Caden Carter out there. They've got to. You can't have a tale of two fucking worlds, of one level of professionalism and truth and love and respect grounded in the root of this business for decades, and then some factory properties who don't even know how to play to the camera on the same show. That's a big issue here. But I thought both of these guys played at the top of their level. Great tension, great babyface putovers, and real truths that unless you were in that OVW locker room, that shit hit me a lot harder than it might have hit just a fan at home.
What about the way they ended this?
Yeah. Well, I love my favorite thing in the world is wardrobe malfunctions when people think they're tough.
I knew that. Yeah.
Taking off their coat, and as soon as he did it and got handcuffed, I go points. So I was pumped about that, and that got me excited. But to reference the pipe bomb and to fucking do that in the little shoulder block or what have you, it could have ended with more violence than where it went to. But that's just like, to me, you know, respect to both of them. They're fucking way bigger legends than I'll ever be. But I look at them both, I go, I would beat the fuck out of both of these guys in under 2 minutes. So to me, neither of them are really tough guys that they're trying to play. But when they're face to face, it looks believable. But if you walk out McIntyre and Damian Priest and have them standing next to those guys, everything they said kind of goes out the window of I'm trying to be a badass. You know what I mean? I'm going to win. Oh yeah, my money's on you to win because you look like the toughest guy out there.
But you know, man, if you want to get, if Cody is still the guy and Cody's going to tell the story and you want to get Cody over, I mean, they did the nose to nose and then on their own, they backed up, which would have never happened in a million years. Bro, why not when they're nose to nose, you know, send the refs and the agents and the whole 9 yards? Bro, why not let Punk sucker punch Cody? Give me something. Give me a little flavor.
Well, he said, I'll punch you in the face, right? In the match. So that's the setup of like, I've set this up. Well, you're going to wait. Right now's the time to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I think they should have had heels come out, like even Roman and the Bloodline and a bunch of heat, and just lay them both out. Because at least to get you out of it. And now there's some heat and some other stuff that they might need to team up against these guys to do something. There's all these little factors. But yeah, like both of them backing up, it's like, well, you're both pussies, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think about this? Is this too anticlimactic? Because we're going to talk about a master shoot, but The Rock just signs on to TKO for $30,007. What about what if we had these moments of these guys putting themselves over, thinking they're stealing the show, and then all you have up on the screen is a big 7 doof doof flash doof doof? Like Rock never has to be there, but it kind of saying like, oh, you guys think you're over? Fuck you! I'll come in and take both of your spots. $7 Productions. Thanks for coming. And then they both can look up at the thing and go, fuck. You know, like,
part of that promo that they should have took a left turn on is the fact when I think it was Cody saying, and now that's my story or my spot is about to be taken by The Rock.
Yeah.
And your spot too. And they could have took such a turn because you're worried about me. I'm worried about you. No, that guy's out to take both our spots.
Yep.
Now you got something a little bit just by mentioning his name. What you said's great, Ben, but mentioning his name would have brought it all together now. Oh, now we got like everybody.
Because he had that moment where he put himself over. And if he would have taken the choice of saying The Rock's name, that aligns them both, right? That's a very interesting choice too. I love that.
Yeah.
What's up, Brand? This is Jeff Lane, inviting you to come hang out with me over on Twitch. I'll be live several nights a week, playing games classic and new. Currently, I'm going through Final Fantasy VII. So I hope to see you there, Jeff Lane 22 on Twitch.